I'm Jared Hill, and I help small businesses grow and engage their customer base so that they can increase their revenue. And today we're going to talk about 5 email marketing automations that your business needs to welcome, engage, and get customers back so that you can increase your bottom line. And the first is going to be a welcome email sequence. This is a very easy email sequence to set up so that when you get a new customer or a new customer becomes interested in your products or services, they get a series of emails that introduces them to the company, that introduces them to the products and services that are available, and also gives them more information along the way. Now, you don't want to be heavy salesy in this process. You want to be warm and welcoming. You want them to feel at home with you as a service provider or a seller of products. And so this is an informative stage where I feel you spend about 80% of the time through these emails informing and engaging, and then 20% maybe asking for a purchase, asking for a sign up, or introducing them to new products or services. A welcome email sequence is an automatic email sequence that they get of, I'd say like 3, maybe maximum 7 emails that they would get over a series of time. Could be 1 email a week, could be 1 email every couple of weeks. Just really depends on the life cycle of a customer and how engaging you want to be, how soon that person might be likely to come back in and be a repeat customer. This is definitely going to vary based on your industry. Your first email should most definitely be a welcome or perhaps a thank you for doing business with us. Very simple email, not a whole lot there. And then maybe a few days later or a week later, they get an email, a little bit more information about the company, maybe what drives the company to success, maybe some quotes from some previous customers, just some things to continue to warm that customer up to the business. And then the third email could be a tip or a resource that would help them succeed with whatever it is that they purchased or the service that they used from you. I think about like a plumber. There's lots of things a plumber wouldn't want to come out for. And so there's a lot of information that a plumber could share and help inform a customer, especially if it's regional specific, like regionally specific information. Like where I live, a lot of people have water softeners. And so there might be some water softener issues that they could teach about in one of these emails. And then maybe the email after that, they're talking about a subscription service where you pay a flat rate. I've heard this before for plumbers. You pay a flat rate and you get priority access to the schedule and just different things like that. I mean, there are different things that you could put in a welcome series to warm a new customer up to your business and also invite them into other products and services that you have available. And this can work for any industry that's out there. Small business, I mean, big businesses use this all the time, especially in e-commerce. They use welcome emails all the time. The second one is appointment or service reminders. If you are a business that takes appointments or service calls or something like that, engaging with your customers through the process between when they signed up and when their appointment is key, especially if you have kind of a big time frame between when they book and when you're coming out because you're busy, you're booked out. I'm thinking like HVAC companies in areas that are really hot when summertime gets there. They might say, oh, okay, even our emergency calls are 5 days away or something like that. You could put customers at ease by dripping out a few emails or text messages here or there with information leading up to their service appointment, either to reassure them or to help them prepare for that appointment. Whatever it is that they might need, you can utilize that, not just to give them a reminder when you're 24 hours out or something like that. Those are good, but also to engage them along the way and help them be better prepared for their appointment. And so you're thinking about different ways that you can add value to their experience before they show up for their appointment or before you show up to perform whatever service it is at their residence or commercial building or whatever it is. We're able to engage with our customers, and they're not just waiting and hoping that we remember, hoping that we do show up or whatever it is. And so it's going to do a couple of different things. First of all, it's going to reduce no-shows because the reminder is good and it helps people remember things that they might have forgotten. I know that I've booked an appointment to get my hair cut and forgot to put it in my calendar. And thankfully, there was a reminder email that I got, and that was great. For a haircut, I probably don't really expect much more than that type of email. But there are lots of types of appointments that I might want more information leading up to it. For example, like a massage therapist, especially if it's a new customer, you might send out an email or a text message a few days in advance with some thoughts like, don't wear heavy fragrances or whatever. I don't know what a massage therapist might want to their customers understand before an appointment, but you can utilize this opportunity to do that. So not only is it going to reduce no-shows, but it's going to increase customer satisfaction because they feel better prepared for the appointment they're about to have. Whether that's on-site or on-site at their location, the more that a customer is aware of what to expect, the better. I've gotten appointment notifications that have also included a photo of and a little bio of the tech that's going to show up to my house. That's super reassuring to get that type of information, just to know who's going to show up to my house ahead of time. People really enjoy that, and it shows that this business took the extra time, the extra steps to set that up, which, can be time consuming, but it's going to increase customer satisfaction because of that. So I'm thinking about salons, clinics, repair services, any type of business where the customer being prepared is essential for a good experience. This is a great opportunity to put together some sort of an automation that can be sent out to your customers ahead of time. Number 3 is post-service follow-up, which also could include feedback requests. So a post-service follow-up automation is great because you can automatically send out an email with some follow-up tips, depending on the type of business that you're in, with whatever additional information that they might need to know just to have a successful go after this appointment, whatever it was. And you can also ask for feedback at this point too. Now, we're often afraid as small businesses to send people over to Google for Google reviews or Yelp reviews or whatever, because what if we get a bad one? Well, we likely aren't going to get bad ones unless we're doing bad things. We can't, of course, keep everybody happy, and occasionally there will be somebody that goes and writes a bad review. So asking for feedback, whether it's asking for feedback in the email, like, hey, hit reply and share your thoughts on your experience with us, or the feedback is, hey, could you write a review for us on Google? I think it's a great opportunity to ask the customer for their feedback, and it gives us an opportunity to know exactly how we did and how the customer's feeling maybe a few days down the road. Now, if you are a local small business, having Google reviews is a major part of a local marketing strategy. You want to have as many Google reviews as you can in there, and that means making it easy for people to add those Google reviews by including a link and making the ask in a post follow-up email. And if they do write a review online, I highly recommend that you go and reply to it really quickly, thank them for it. If it was anything less than a 5-star, ask them if there's anything that you could have done to change that. People want to see 5-star reviews, but they also want to see how a business responds to reviews that were less. Most consumers know that all 5 stars might look a little bit fishy. There's got to be somebody there that had a less than stellar experience, whether it was their fault or the company's fault. And it's really important to see how somebody responds to that. So while we don't want to have a ton of negative reviews, we want to have as many 5-star reviews as we can. It's okay if you have a couple of 4-star, maybe even a few 3-star reviews in there. Just make sure that when you reply to those, you're being very sympathetic to the customer and whatever their experience might have been, and that you try to rectify the situation within that. This shows people that even though the experience wasn't as expected, that you went out of your way to make sure to make it right. But you don't want to miss the opportunity to send out a post follow-up email or a sequence of emails to your customer to give them information that they might need, and also to invite feedback, which is super useful for you as the business and for others to see online so that they can make the best decision possible with choosing a company to work with. Number 4 is one that I almost never see businesses doing, and it's a huge missed opportunity, and that is re-engagement or win-back campaigns. When you haven't seen a customer for a while, it's important to know why. Do they just simply not need that product or service anymore, or they don't need it again yet? Or is there an issue there? Maybe they forgot about who you were. Maybe there's a lot of other options in the area, and so they're thinking about trying someone else, or maybe they even forgot that they used you and your services in the first place. If a customer hasn't done business with you in a while and it's outside of the typical time frame in which they would either come back in again or see you again, revisit, whatever, rebook, then you want to be re-engaging with them and figuring out if there's anything that you can do to help. Now, a very gentle email like, hey, we haven't seen you in a while and we just wanted to see if there was anything we could do to serve you. We get a lot of these types of emails with online companies like e-commerce companies. We'll send out an email if somebody hasn't purchased again within 90 days. We might send out the typical miss you email, which is, hey, we haven't seen you in 90 days, or it's been a while, or whatever it is. We'd love to have you back. Here are some of our featured products or our latest products or whatever it is. And then maybe if they don't make a purchase then after another 30 days, you give them a coupon code so that they get a 15% discount off their next purchase, whatever it is. But with a local business, it's often that people are just making decisions based on the information that they have available at the time of need. And I might choose one company one time, totally forget about it, and then choose another company another time. Or maybe I even forget what that company's name was. I don't know. I do this a lot with restaurants, sometimes even coffee shops. I might make a change. I'm just going over to this place now instead. And for no reason that I'm not going over to that other place, but I'm just not going over there anymore. And it would be very useful to be noticed if I was missing. We all want to be noticed, and I think that's what this type of email does, is we can make it very salesy, and we could say, hey, you haven't spent money with us, and we don't want to be salesy. We want to connect with that person somehow. And if you're a salon or barber shop, you can even be a little bit funny with this. Like if it was a barber shop and I hadn't booked an appointment in, say, 30 days or something like that, and I got an email that said, hey, you're looking a little shaggy, book your next appointment right now or whatever, and it was just kind of funny and a little cheeky, like I would find that funny and interesting, and I'd think like, oh yeah, I haven't gotten a haircut in like 30 days already. I can't believe that. My hair is really long right now. I need a haircut. I'm going to go ahead and book it. But if I don't get that email, it might take a while. Some of us are really good about booking that next appointment before we leave. Some of us don't do that. And then a long period of time goes by. Then maybe we go look at the schedule and the schedule's a little full, but we need one right now. So we end up going somewhere else. There's so many different situations that can lead a person to going and purchasing or doing business with another business instead of yours. So a re-engagement or win-back campaign is a great opportunity to re-engage people and get them back in the door or get them booked for another appointment. If anything, maybe they don't need the service at the time. It's another opportunity for increased awareness. Top of mind awareness is huge for small businesses, especially if you're a business that needs repeat customers and repeat business from your customers. It's really important to be re-engaging with those customers. Now, some of us are in businesses where you might see a customer once over a long period of time. Think about the general contractor is probably going to build a home for someone and not need to build another home for that person for maybe 10 years or longer. But there are a lot of businesses that need repeat business from their customers. And if you leave it up to the customer to remember, they may forget, just as the example I shared a little bit earlier. It's very important that we stay in touch with our customers and make sure that we continuously engage them so that we don't fall completely off the radar and they end up choosing someone else next time. Number 5 is seasonal promotions and special offers. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of the seasonal promotions and special offers that I get are not super exciting until we get to something like Black Friday, where then it's all sensational and we have big offers at that time. People are putting things at steep discounts just to try and get as many dollars out of everybody as possible during that time of the year. Well, if the race is to the bottom during that time of the year, then why don't we spend the rest of the year being smart about the promotions and the offers that we make so that it makes sense based on the time of the year that people would potentially be purchasing or signing up for your products or services. So rather than trying to do some major push at the end of the year, unless you have something unique and special that stands out from the competition and with a little bit of a discount will urge people to purchase, it doesn't make sense to try and compete with everybody. Take advantage of the rest of the year when people actually need products and services, and when companies aren't trying to race to the bottom, offering the steepest discounts possible, and look for opportunities, whether it be seasonal promotions. Maybe your business operates seasonally and provides different services depending on the season. Maybe there are special offers that make sense during certain times of the year, around holidays, or whatever it is. There's probably something unique and specific to your business that can be tied to a certain time of year in which you could send out a promotional offer or something special that would make sense for your customer base. And this is a great way to re-engage customers as well, especially customers that you haven't seen for a while. And this doesn't even have to be done during high volume times like holidays or special seasons. It could also be during slow times. Maybe you have a certain time of the year that gets slow. Sales take a slump and you just kind of ride that out every single year. Identify why that time of year ends up getting slow. And maybe you can put some sort of an offer at the beginning of that to make sure that you have a lot of appointments booked or sessions or whatever it is booked for that time to minimize the effects of that slump in that time of year. So there's lots of different ways that you can use promotions and special offers during certain times of the year to boost sales, engage customers, and provide additional value. While those were 5 really good options for email marketing automation in your business, there are a lot of different ways that you can use email marketing automation to engage with customers that haven't yet purchased, to engage with customers who have purchased, and also to engage customers who haven't purchased in a while. If you want to see a welcome sequence firsthand, head on over to hillmediagroup.com, put in your email address, and see how we do it for ourselves. But that's going to do it for this one. Click that subscribe button, and we'll see you back in the next one.